living in the now. We look back to the past with nostalgic glasses, not realizing we're living in the future's past that will also be nostalgic, taking what we have now for granted, whether it be youth, or money, or even happiness, that it will all be taken away one day by the inevitability of death. Not bad, nor good, just the way life works. And though it seems like it'll never happen to us, one day our expiration date will pass, and along with it, all our memories, objects, and feelings will be gone. Once your great-great-great-grandchildren are born, they'll likely not know who you are, the way you don't know who your great-great-great-grandparents were. And though you may be minuscule in the grand scheme of things, you're the center of your own subjective universe. So why not make the most of that universe while you're here, live in the now, and look back to the past for inspiration without yearning for a time that will never be again. So when your life story finally finishes, you'll be satisfied with the ending. Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. Top 3 most painful torture methods. Number 3. The Swedish drink. Despite sounding like a refreshing beverage, the Swedish drink was quite the opposite. Peasants were forced to drink a mixture of poo and pee, and not to mention any other foul items found laying around that day, just so they would pay their taxes. Number 2. Boiling. Started by England, they would begin boiling alive, and would cook the victim's body from the outside in. And modern accounts of people falling into hot springs suggest that they would be conscious for most of the ordeal. Number 1. The saw. Before the saw was used to cut through trees, it was used to slice through humans for torture. The victim would be tied up upside down, and the upside down posture would keep the blood in the victim's head, so they wouldn't pass out, while slowly being cut in half, sometimes even staying alive long enough to watch their upper chest be ripped apart. Top 3 photos before disaster. Number 3. These were the last moments of Harambe, who was unfairly killed after a child fell into his enclosure in the Cincinnati Zoo in 2016. This was a pretty sad day for most. Number 2. Nicholas Movelli. After his last free dive, he attempted to dive 236 feet deep. He completed the dive, surfaced, and gave the OK sign. Once he tried to speak, no words would come out, and then he passed out. He never regained consciousness, and died that same day. Number 1. A politician in the Philippines was shot dead while taking this photo of his family on New Year's Day. He captured the killer on camera just seconds before he was assassinated from the fatal shots. After discovering this terrifying coincidence, the politician's family gave the camera to the police, who used the photo to find the gunman and his lookout on the right, who was also caught and imprisoned for their crimes. I find it creepy that some mysteries will never be solved. Kaspar Hauser. He was found lost and wandering around in Nuremberg, Germany in 1982. When the townsfolk asked him questions like who he was and where he came from, he admitted he knew nothing from his past. The only thing he could recall was his name, Kaspar Hauser. After more memories started to surface, he claimed to be held in a dark room with no windows by people he never got to see. The only thing that he would eat was bread and water. Weirdly, on 3 separate occasions, people tried to take his life, though he was the only one to see the would-be murderers. But oddly, his life ended up being taken in one of these mysterious attacks in 1833. There are many theories about Hauser, spanning that he suffered from so much child abuse that he developed amnesia, to being captive to aliens who ran tests and dumped him when they were done. I guess you can say, this mystery is to be continued.